All right, folks. Nice to be with you on this Friday night. It's a Friday night special. Josh Johnson here. You are watching a Facebook and YouTube live broadcast. I welcome each and every one of you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. I will begin with a look at radar. And so this is kind of where we are right now. If you're watching this after the fact, this was at 9:39 p.m. Friday evening. And so far, so good. You've got a large kind of mass of rain covering much of West Alabama. See it over here. Nothing rotating in this. Strongest cell is right out here. This is just now into Autauga County. This would be near Fig Tree Hill and the Mulberry community along County Road 1. County Road 15 would be out here as well. And just to drive the point home, I'll show you. No real rotation in this. I'll animate the storm relative velocity product. And again, same sort of thing. There's no strong signature here in any sort of rotation way. This storm, by the way, will keep on moving the way it's been moving, which is pretty quickly and off to the northeast. So this is going to track up through southern Chilton, northern and central Autauga County, and then up from there more so into Coosa, but it may clip the northwestern corner of Elmore. This is, again, not a severe thunderstorm. This is not a damaging thunderstorm. It's just a thunderstorm. So that's where we are right now with this this entire setup. Is we've got the storms down to the south. We got storms to the west. So there you go. We'll double screen this thing so you and I can talk while I show you the data there on the other side of the screen. So the wider perspective, though, let's go back into Mississippi and let me show you this. This is the Jackson, Mississippi radar, and you see what I see there. Let's go back full screen there, actually. It'll be a little easier for you to see. Lots of storms back here, but a lot of this is going to miss us to the north, right? What we're looking at is the actual front itself is still way, way, way back here in Texas. So this cluster of thunderstorms, that's what we have to clear out of here. And that's really, quite frankly, that's been the trend in the data tonight, is this is probably going to be a slower duration process than we want it to be. That's not unusual. Sometimes it happens. 8 out of 10 times these lines move through faster than the models think. This may be that one time. So let me show you this in the data here. This is the high-res rapid refresh model. And you've got kind of a cluster of thunderstorms there over central Alabama. And I'll just sort of hour through this, and I'll announce the hours as we go through. So this is valid at 10 o'clock, so in about 18 minutes. The model has initialized pretty well. This is reasonably close to what's actually happening. It's a little hot, right? The radar I showed you is not that intense. So then this will, and this is composite reflectivity, not base, which I won't bore you with that, but just know, overall the model's initialized pretty well. Now here we are at midnight, still nothing severe, kind of a showery deal, hit and miss rain and rumbles. Now, by 3 in the morning, the model here is sort of hinting at the idea of some cells firing west of Montgomery. Now, will the atmosphere will it have had enough time to recharge by then? I don't know. Hard to imagine it would, but I can't rule it out, and there's still some wind shear around at that point. So these storms, this is 5 in the morning, and you see clusters of storms north and west of Montgomery. Those would need to be watched. And then closer to 8, 9, 10 a.m., the line itself begins to push across central Alabama and then gets by 11 and noon into the southeastern corner. So for most of you watching this, the severe weather risk is very low. This is a pay attention day, not a change your plans day. But there's enough to it to where you do need to pay attention. You need those multiple reliable ways of getting those weather alerts just in case. The main window for severe weather, I think, is 3 to 10 in the central and western counties. That window could extend out a little later if you live in the eastern and southeastern counties. But the overall, the reason I'm using 10 a.m. as the cutoff time is after 10 o'clock, the ingredients for tornadoes and damaging wind really begin to get out of here. So there will be ongoing rain and storms 11, noon, 1 in the afternoon, 2 in the afternoon, 3 in the afternoon. I'm not sure that they're really going to be severe. So I really think the main window here is about 3 to 10. give or take an hour on either side. This is the way this always works. And then storms will linger past that down in the southeastern corner, which you see here. Again, I think the high-res rapid refresh here has the right idea. And look, for a lot of you in Opp and Troy and Dothan and Union Springs and Eufaula, it doesn't even rain until after lunchtime tomorrow, right? I'm not sure we've done a very good job communicating that. And frankly, that's been a kind of a late-breaking curveball part of this in the data is that, this is going to slow down. This is going to take some time to push through the state as it does so. So let me show you this. This is the significant tornado parameter off the same model. And I'll back this up. So this is valid essentially right now. And you see what I see, kind of a little area. What you look for in this map, the color blue is 1 or greater, which is sort of a telltale sign that there's a risk. Next few hours, it's above 1, but again, understand this. That's just telling you if there's a storm in this environment, is it likely to produce a tornado? When you look at this, again, 10 o'clock, it's got this bullseye down here, Clark, Conecuh, Escambia. There are no storms in that, right? So you can't just look at the significant tornado parameter and make a forecast. It's not that simple, but you have to have storms in the environment, right? And we don't really get that until early tomorrow. Now, look, as the line comes through, this is 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. There are still some pockets of that blue color showing you, there could be, if you get the wrong storm in the wrong place at the wrong time, you could still have a brief isolated tornado or pocket of damaging wind. For 99% of you, that's not going to happen. For 99% of you, this is just, it rains, either tonight if you live west and north of Montgomery, or tomorrow if you live in the eastern and southeastern counties. And that's about it. There's thunder, there's lightning, it's not a big deal. But if we get the wrong storm in the wrong place at the wrong time, it could turn into a big deal on a very small scale, on a very small area. So that's the way this is going to go down. And then look, this is the significant tornado parameter in the afternoon. See what I mean? This is 1 in the afternoon, and unless you're along the Florida border, that number has gone to near basically 0, and even down there it's dropped. You don't see any blue colors left, right? Which on this scale is kind of the cutoff between what's conducive and what's not. Here's an upper air sounding. This is valid near Montgomery, actually. 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. A couple of things to look at here. One, see all these wind barbs right here. That is a very unidirectional wind profile. That means the wind is blowing out of essentially the southwest from the ground all the way up to the top of the atmosphere, or our part of the atmosphere, the troposphere, where weather happens. Temperature of 73, that's warm enough. Dew point of 69, that's muggy enough, but the wind shear is limited. There's actually a pretty decent amount of instability. You just don't have a lot of directional wind shear. Now, you have some, to be clear here, but for a winter environment, it's certainly not overwhelming. Here is the update from the Storm Prediction Center for Saturday. They've got kind of a level 2 risk outlined in yellow that covers roughly from, we'll say, Columbus, Georgia to Troy to Atmore, and north all the way to Talladega, Alabaster, and Livingston. This includes a huge chunk of our area over central and parts of southwest Alabama. Again, this is valid for Saturday. So that's what they're looking at. Weather Service in Birmingham put out this graphic. I think it's pretty good. I think this is the right idea. For most of our area, it's 3 to 10 a.m., It could linger as late as 1 or 2 in parts of Pike, Barber, Russell counties. But for most of you, 3 to 10 still works. Call it 10 to noon in the far eastern counties. And then after noon, you really start to lose a lot of those severe weather ingredients as this moves on into southeast Alabama. So I'm going to hop in and see what kind of comments we have. It's 9:49, so we're a little limited on time. in that we'll have to get ready to do WSFA 12 News at 10 momentarily. 2.4 inches of rain as of 9:45. That's from my pal and longtime weather watcher, Keith Wallace, in Autauga County. Hope all of this mess is out of eclectic by 10 a.m. It will be close. If it's not out by 10, I bet it will be out by 1. This is way more interesting than the playoff game. It is. Indiana is legit, y'all. You know, we all thought Alabama was pretty sorry after the way they looked against Indiana, but maybe it's just Indiana, right? God, they look good. And it's not, you know, their quarterback gets all the publicity, but that roster, they have dudes everywhere. But we won't talk a lot of football. New to Tallahassee, should I be worried? No, you should not be worried. This is a level 2 out of 5 risk. If you've lived here for even 6 months or a year, you've had this before. This is not some high-end outbreak. This is a pay attention to it sort of thing. This is not a be terrified of it kind of thing. This is not even a change your plans kind of thing. This is just pay attention. Have multiple reliable ways of getting weather warnings. Know where you'll go ahead of time if the weather gets bad. That's it. What about Center, Alabama? For you, the risk is really, really, really low tomorrow morning. It's gone by 9 or 10 in the morning at the latest for you up in Center. Pineapple is watching. Hello, Pineapple, Wilcox County. Always glad to have you. Could we see about 6-7 inches of rain? 6-7. Probably not in Montgomery, but by the time this is said and done, I think parts of West Alabama could. You know, parts of Marengo I've already seen close to that, and there's more coming. It's still raining there. So, hello from Greenville. Hey, Greenville, how you doing? Camellia City. It rained in Tallahassee tonight, so everyone was out buying bread and milk. Well, I hope they enjoy their bread and milk. So that's where we are. Look, again, this is one of those you don't need to be frightened, afraid, or anxious. We've got your back. We're going to staff overnight tonight. If there's a tornado watch, I will be sitting here. If there's not a tornado watch but a warning pops, I may be at home, but I will pop on and do coverage from home. It's 2025 or 2026. We can do that. Is Prattville good? Low and severe weather risk tomorrow morning. Prattville. Troy, low and severe weather risk tomorrow morning. Apparently Indiana just scored again. I think Indiana has, the quarterback from Indiana may run through this studio in a minute. He's going crazy. When will equality be through with this? Mid to late morning tomorrow, 10, 11 a.m. or so. Noon at the latest. Troy, we've already answered. Low and severe weather risk. Late tomorrow morning and early tomorrow afternoon. Slap out. You knew it was going to happen. I love you, slap out. Rain and storms for you. Late morning, I think mid to late morning, call it 6, 7, 8, 9 a.m. And then it's out. Camden, storms for you will be earlier in the morning. 4, 5, 6, 7 a.m., maybe as late as 8. But it's mainly early tomorrow morning in West Alabama. Mid-morning along I-65, late morning into the early afternoon east of I-65. Jay says, no Sunkist? No, not yet. Does the east side of Montgomery got any worries? We've all got worries, brother. Sister, you're Kayla, your sister. Sister, we all got worries, don't we? The weather is a low worry for you, right? There will be some storms. The overall threat level is low. I feel like this is a crazy question, LOL. What do you do if you're driving in a warning? Great question, actually, Daisy. The idea is to find the nearest sturdy structure and get in it. Do not stop under an overpass. Get off the road. Find a gas station. If it's daytime, find the closest business that's open and get in that. If it's not daytime, you want to try to get to a service station, something that's open. And if there's absolutely nothing open, the worst case scenario, duck down in your car, pull safely off the road, and I would get as low in the vehicle as possible. Don't let anything come through the window on you. Risk for Lake Martin from now to tomorrow, it's low. It's not zero. And really, the risk is essentially low for everyone. And look, for everyone in our area, the forecast is about the same. There is a Level 2 out of 5 risk of a brief, quick spin-up tornado or a pocket of damaging wind. It will be isolated. For 99% of you, this is just some rain, some thunder, and it's windy at times. But in those, if we get the wrong storm in the wrong place at the wrong time, we could have problems. The timeline of maximum concern is about 3 in the morning through about 10 in the morning. That timeline could extend out a little later if these storms continue to slow down, as late as maybe 11 or noon in the eastern counties. And then in the Wiregrass, this could go as late as 1 or 2. So the specific spot questions, the last 30 seconds of me talking answers that for everybody. So that's the flavor to that. And yet, as I say that, I get a just constant barrage of questions. Tallapoosa County, question mark. Opelika, question mark. Starlington, question mark. That's everybody. 3 a.m. to 10 a.m., long shot tornado risk. Can't rule out a brief spin-up tornado or a pocket of damaging wind. That's what we got. We'll be able to drive this down. Once a storm forms and starts rotating, that's when I can track it down, down to the street level, barbecue joint level, all of that. Before the storm forms, we really can't. Okay, some questions about late next week. And boy, do we need to talk about that. So it gets cold late next week. And then some funny things start to happen. But rather than just tell you about it, I'm going to show you the latest run of the GFS and the European. And we'll just talk it through. Understand, I don't think it's really going to snow here. But let me show you what the data is pointing at. Because I do think this will be the first winter weather threat for parts of the South. I don't think it will be our part, but I think it will be some part of the South. Okay, so this is our current storm system. It blows on through. It's colder Sunday. We moderate a little Tuesday, Wednesday. But then Wednesday afternoon, an Arctic front blows through the state. Upslope snow showers into the Smokies and Blue Ridge Mountains. For us, it's dry and very cold. Wednesday night, Thursday night. Okay, that thing deepens up off the East Coast and pulls a lot more cold air down with it. And then behind that, you get a new surface area of low pressure that forms, get an overrunning setup here. For us, it's a cold rain, but snow could fall as far south as parts of Mississippi, North Alabama, most of Tennessee, North Georgia, and the Carolinas. How about that? This is just one run of one model, guys. So don't, this is written not even in pencil. But it's shown up a few times now, this scenario. The other thing is the European computer model. Again, storms we have now blow through. It's cooler Sunday, Monday, a little warmer Tuesday. It gets colder late Wednesday. It snows in the mountains Wednesday night. Then surface area, you get more overrunning. And look at that, you get some snow and sleet and icy stuff into parts of Mississippi, North Alabama, Tennessee, and North Georgia. So I talk a lot about two things when long-range forecasting. Yep, talk to me. Radar and Weather Graphics 2. Sorry, that's the producer giving me some instructions, which as a dutiful employee, I will follow faithfully. Consistency and agreement. Consistency is, does this model agree with other models? Or does it agree with itself run after run after run? Consistency is, does it show the same thing run after run after run? Agreement is, does it agree with other models? So again, consistency, does this model show the same thing over and over? Agreement is, does it agree with other computers? And we're starting to see both of those things happen with this overall scenario. So I think it will turn colder Sunday, Monday. We'll get a little warmer, and then 2 shots of colder air out at the end of next week into next weekend. And there is a non-zero chance that you end up with some wintry weather concerns, perhaps into North Mississippi, North Alabama, Tennessee, and North Georgia. For us in the southern half of Alabama from Clanton south, I think it's a real long shot at this point. I don't see anything in the data that really jumps out at me on that front. So anyway, I'm going to go to WSFA 12 News at 10. It starts in about 1 minute and 10 seconds. So I got a jet. Hope you all have a wonderful evening. We'll probably do another one of these overnight tonight. if the weather warrants it, and we'll certainly keep you ahead of the storms. If you're near a TV or want to stream, we stream all of our newscasts. You can watch them live on the First Alert Weather app. You can watch them on your connected TV. You've got a smart TV.